Alister.
AKA
Buster, yeah.
Ready? Okay, I'm here today with Alister, AKA Buster. Hello, Buster.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about what this is all about?
Yeah, this is a training area for parkour. Parkour is the discipline of overcoming obstacles with safe and efficient movement. And the people in this area were consulted when the park started to be redeveloped and asked what they would like in terms of facilities, and parkour was one of the things that they asked for. So we've been working with Crawley Council for about 3 years, doing seasonal training for parkour, certain sessions of training for 6 weeks here, 12 weeks there, with different aims in mind. And we've started to really help to build a kind of a little community here of parkour practitioners. So originally we were asked to undertake a consultation with them about the type of park that they wanted. And we did that, and then we represented that kind of wish list to the UK's 2 biggest playground manufacturers. And after those interviews and discussions happened, Crawley Borough Council came back to us and said, actually, we'd like you to design it. If we bring a civil engineer to build it, will you design it? Now, we already have the urban playground team. The name comes from the urban playground, which is a movable set that we perform parkour and dance performances on. And so the section over there, the concrete steel section over there, is a recreation of one of our sets. And what we looked to do was achieve the young people's wish list and make it safe and stay within budget and all the things that we have to do in order to make it reality. And also provide an opportunity for people to evolve their movement from nothing up to the kind of movement that we make in our performance. And we work with 2 of the creators of parkour, Shelley and Malik Duke, members of the Yamakasi, and they have their own organisation, Gravity. So they're real masters. They've been practicing for 20 years. They help to make parkour from nothing. And so we talk to them as well about what we're doing, and we perform and we train with them all the time. So the aim of this site is that you enter here through some bollards, and the bollards are all at different distances to each other. So you can begin just to look at jumping distances and moving. There's a trim trail down this side of the park, which is standard kind of park equipment for conditioning exercises to build up general fitness and improve balance and coordination. We have the slabs here where you might begin to look at jumping, look at vaulting, look at what we call the roulade d'obstacle, or the roll on an object. Over there we have a slightly more complicated object which starts to look at the offset walls and handrails. And we move here to this frame for agility, for all sorts of bar and scaffold based movement. Over there we go back to the wall, we add a slope, we add a tower. Now it starts to get more complicated. There's double switched angles, there's gaps, and then over to the UPG where there's a whole area. So you can take a single area and you can train, or you can stand on one side and take your line and just move. And we've been careful not to predetermine the correct moving. Our biggest wish is that we will come here and see people do things we've never seen before, and that they will respond to this environment from themselves, and they'll express themselves, enjoy themselves, and be fit and healthy at the same time.
Yeah, it looks absolutely wonderful, I have to say. Would you recommend anybody use the Party Square? I mean, we're having a bit of an unfortunate day today.
Well, training parkour in this country, there's a point at which you have to make a decision. Either you don't train parkour anymore, or sometimes you're going to train in the rain. The easiest way to look at the rain is that it is another obstacle. So it's an obstacle you need to learn to overcome. The way that we would react is that we severely restrict the vocabulary of movement we use. So when it's raining, we stay much lower to the ground, we move slower, we ensure that we have more points of contact. So maybe where usually we might only have 1 point of contact with an object, in the rain we'll have 2 or 3 points of contact with it. We won't go too high. We'll be very suspicious of any metal work. And this is brand new concrete, so in a few months' time, when it's all settled, the rain won't affect it so much. But today it's brand new, so the rain is sitting on it as a surface.
Do you want me? I'll be in a different park.
And that means you can slide on it nicely if you intend to slide. But if you're trying to be still, then the sliding becomes an obstacle. So you have to work with it.
Okay, that's brilliant. I guess you're going to do a demonstration for us.
Well, we've been moving around on it, and you can see people. We're hoping that by 1 o'clock this afternoon, the weather will have cleared up, and we can make a workshop, and then we'll show some stuff. But
and you're doing some training sessions, I believe, down here?
yeah, through the summer we'll be here. We'll be helping to train people, and we'll be available. And we're also looking to initiate another section of the Crawley Play program. So we're looking for young practitioners in this area to become parkour community leaders, and also to help take responsibility for maintaining safe practice in this area. Because really, if it's going to happen, it will happen from the participants upwards. It never happens downwards. It has to be that the people who are training learn to train responsibly and then want to spread that vibe around their own peer group.
So you're going to use the community to help the rest of the community?
Exactly, yeah. And parkour, the aim behind parkour, where it comes from, the idea is that you train yourself to be useful. You train yourself so that no particular environment can prevent you from continuing. And that has a huge resonance to the rest of your life. If you get into the mindset that you can always be useful, then you will be useful. If you train so that you can always help someone, then you'll begin to help more people. And that's really the intention behind parkour. If you train just for yourself, it's kind of pointless. But if you train to be useful, then you have to find a use. You have to find a way to help.
So it goes a little bit deeper than just jumping off blocks.
The easiest way to look at it is that if you become more efficient at overcoming obstacles physically, then you'll become more efficient at overcoming obstacles emotionally, mentally, in terms of your life, in terms of your work. And if in a physical environment you learn how to be useful, then you will be in a personal environment as well.
Lovely. Well, I recommend anybody to come down and see Buster, to show you how to use this wonderful playground that we have here with all of these obstacles. That's lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.